The first micro decision that any fighter makes in a fight is to take the center of the octagon first. We see Colby here is already halfway to the monster logo before the fight starts, and once he is on the monster logo, we see that he's quick to give the center to Buckley. Now, as Colby retreats, he throws a jab, but Buckley is so locked in that he realizes he doesn't even have to move backwards, so he keeps the center of the octagon without even moving his feet. Now, Buckley gets in a wider stance and starts to place some weight on that front foot. Colby realizes this and then throws a jab out to distract Buckley, but the threat is really moving his back foot and feinting for this low kick. But Buckley has a hard reaction to this, and Colby's not even looking for a leg kick. He's just trying to weaken the stance of Buckley for the threat of a takedown later. Now that Buckley's on the side of the octagon, he fires off a jab, which Colby slips, and now Colby is going to circle to the middle of the octagon. But now what I want to talk about is see how he throws his hands up here, but he's going to throw his head down, acting like he's about to go for a takedown, and then throw a strike. This is a very popular thing with wrestlers that become strikers in MMA. The most popular example of this is Khabib versus Conor, where you shift your weight down for a level change and it perfectly goes into the momentum of the strike you're throwing. In Colby's example, though, it doesn't pan out as good as it did for Khabib. Now, about 30 seconds later, Colby is going to do the same technique, trying to dip his head down for a level change. But notice how Buckley has already seen this, and look at his reaction. This is the face of somebody that can see right through your game. And now, look at Colby's face. That's the face of somebody that doesn't know what the fuck to do next. Now, Covington tries to use the same level change trick 3 times in a row, but Buckley is going to use his arm, extend it, close the distance to avoid this right hook, and then he's going to frame off with his elbow. Now, Buckley tries to use the leverage from this frame to throw an uppercut, which Colby is going to block. Now, Buckley is going to use his right arm to try to pull Colby into this left hook, but Colby misses it by inches. Now, Colby retreats and continues that frame by pushing off of the back of Buckley's head and then retreating. Now, a couple of seconds later, Colby realizes he can't use the same level change trick anymore, so he uses a different one. He uses a double jab to try to back Buckley up, and you notice how the first jab will back Buckley up, but the second one raises his guard. This is the intention for Colby, not only to raise his guard, but to get him close to the back of the fence. Now that Colby's got Buckley backed up against the fence, he'll actually try to attempt a takedown, but Buckley turns this uppercut into an underhook, which actually saves him from getting taken down here. And also, notice how Buckley plants his entire body against the cage here and is wrenching upwards on Colby's body. This is stopping his arms from connecting around his back, which is going to actually start the takedown process. Instead, Buckley is able to push his weight down onto Colby's head and actually force Colby's head down onto the mat with his arms as well. And then he's able to circle out, and this is the best scenario for Buckley. And Colby's literally reaching out for him because he has no other way to try to take him down. Now Buckley's in the middle, just like the start of the fight. But Covington isn't the only one in this fight that has bad habits that are getting exploited. Notice how Buckley, every time he's about to throw some bombs, he'll lower his stance. And Colby's starting to catch on to this with this jab. But he really catches on to this about 40 seconds later. Buckley again is going to dip his stance down even more dramatically this time. And Colby, as soon as he pops up, hits him with a jab right to the nose. Colby throws another jab and then powers Buckley to the fence. And now for a side-by-side, notice Colby's success all relies on the timing of his jab. That's the only reason he was able to get this takedown here. And look at Buckley's positioning. He's in the center of the octagon, whereas when he gets taken down, he has his back to the cage. Now, Colby isn't able to get Buckley down for 2 reasons, and one we've already seen, which is that underhook from Buckley. This, again, stops him from being able to connect his hands behind Buckley's back, which would drag Buckley's legs together, which now we're talking about it. Look at how far apart Buckley's legs are. In order for you to get a double leg takedown, you need to drag both of your opponent's legs together. Whenever Buckley has his legs that far apart and his back against the cage, it's going to be very hard to take someone down like that without using all of your energy. Colby knows this, so he switches to the single leg, switches to the clinch, and then again tries to switch to this double leg. Buckley uses the same technique from earlier, using his feet to plant against the side of the cage and then wrenching up on Colby's body, pretty much stopping him from ever connecting his hands. Colby also knows this, playing chess, and grabs Buckley's underwear,
What the fuck is that?
desperately failing and trying to get Buckley to the ground. At the end of the round, we get to see in the mind of both fighters, Buckley is still trying to throw bombs at Covington and hits him with maybe the meanest punch of the entire fight, probably opening Covington's cut even more. Covington barely throws a right hand counter, and Buckley still is trying to hit him with 100%.
Why are you running?
Covington is wondering what the hell is going on here. He looks up at the clock. An obvious mistake because Buckley immediately points it out and laughs at him. But Covington, trying to make that showmanship con man face, smiles too. Now to start off round 2, we see Buckley do the same thing again with this level change. Now Colby makes a big reaction to this, but now he knows that Buckley's about to throw a bomb. Now Colby engages in this clinch exchange, and now he's going to drag him to the fence again like he has before, trying to get this double leg. If Covington wants to get this takedown, he needs to lock his arms together around Buckley's legs. But Buckley so far has used this underhook to stop Covington from putting his full weight against Buckley on the fence. But Buckley makes a big mistake here by trying to wrench on one of the arms of Colby, when before he had the underhook and he was able to stop the takedown. But now, whenever Colby drops to his knees, it's too late because he can't stop this takedown. He was only focusing on one side of the body. And yes, because of this one mistake, because of having your arm in one wrong place for 1 second, this caused him to lose 3 minutes of control time. At the end of this round, Colby is really wearing a lot of damage, so he goes for a Hail Mary overhand, which is deflected from Buckley. And then Buckley goes for a left hand cross, which is deflected from Colby. Just high-level chess match being played here, except Buckley just has a little bit more pieces. Notice how whenever you see a fighter start bobbing like this, they are picking their shots. And you notice how Colby has his guard up. Buckley is literally lining up his right hand to go right through the guard of Colby. Now Covington is in complete survival mode, and Buckley knows this because he can see Covington's guard up again. And Buckley tries to unleash 2 potential fight-ending right hooks on Covington that miss. Now Buckley, feeling the moment, finally hits Colby with a clean cross. He throws his hands up, motions that he should get a belt, and then almost gets kicked in the face with a front kick. Now Buckley stands there with his hands down like he's confused why he almost got kicked in the face, and then returns a kick that ends off round 2. And now look at from round 1 to round 3, look at the damage in Colby Covington's face, but more importantly, the demeanor changed. He's always smiling even when he breaks his jaw. You never see him looking at the clock. Now starting off round 3, Colby Covington takes the center of that monster logo like we were talking about at the beginning of this fight, except now he's going to go for a takedown attempt, which completely fails because look at how he's reaching so far past his body, and look at the amount of space between Colby Covington's head and the body of Buckley. 30 seconds in, Colby puts his hands up, which means he's playing possum. Then Joaquin Buckley is going to drop his stance, which means he's probably going to throw a bomb. He does, in the form of a jab, which rocks Colby. Now Buckley on the offense tries to put a bunch of power into this high kick, but Colby blocks it. And now Colby is going to attempt a complex taekwondo kick called a tornado kick with a couple of key mistakes. The first step is to take a step forward. This allows space for you to throw this kick, but the more important part is throwing that arm out isn't only to distract your opponent, it's also a rangefinder. So Colby should have known that he was too close to throw this kick to begin with by throwing this arm out, knowing that he couldn't actually land this kick. The next step is to turn, but more importantly, to look, which Colby doesn't do. And you need to look because once you turn around, you need to see if a high kick is coming directly towards your dome. Additionally, never cross your legs whenever you're throwing a spinning kick because your opponent can just leg kick you and sweep your legs right from under you. And Buckley's already noticed this kick was happening from a long time ago, but he's still amused with the shit. Buckley throws a jab that snaps Colby's head back even more than it already would because he's leaning down into this takedown attempt. Now look at how comfortable Buckley is with the takedown attempt from Colby. He's literally just going to put all of his weight on top of Colby's head, sprawl out, and then push his elbows on top of Colby's shoulders and just push him off. Now that Buckley's in stack guard, he has to eliminate some of that space by sliding that knee down and getting into half guard. From here, he has a more dominant position. He's going to use his left knee now from half guard and then slide over to the full mount and then completely give up that position because if you've been winning a fight standing up for 3 rounds, there's no point in wrestling now. And if you want proof of this, the second that Colby gets up, Buckley immediately punches him in the fucking head. Now at the last exchange in this fight, Colby goes for a takedown attempt, but notice how he doesn't even almost lock his hands when he goes for this takedown. This is just complete confidence on Buckley's face now, knowing that he's winning this fight. Now as Buckley starts to get up, he tries to knee Covington on the break, and then sadly this fight ends by doctor stoppage. But what do you guys think? Do you think it was a good fight? Do you think it was a fair stoppage? Let me know in the comments. And if you have any suggestions for other fights I should break down, also let me know. And yeah guys, if wrestling doesn't work for you, sometimes the striker can fuck you up more than you'd imagine. But yeah, guys, thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Later.